What's going on, guys? Today, on this episode, I want to talk fly reels. Now, I know I haven't been on the channel in a while. My apologies. Holidays and getting physio for my arm done, and kids out of school, and graduations for kids and stuff. It's been a crazy week. So I wasn't been a whole lot of time for fishing. Not that I can fish anyways. But the good news is I see a doctor on Monday. So hopefully Monday I'll get clean bill of health, and then we can start getting some fishing. Finally got really hot here in Southern Ontario, so the carp, last I heard, some of them were still spawning, and should be prime time by next week. If not in the lakes, it'll be in the big lake. Lake Ontario will be prime time. So, but the water's really high. That leads me to today's topic: fly reels. Now I have I don't know if I have a fly reel problem, but I have a few reels. I got more here. Just quite a few reels on the table here. I'll pan it here in a minute. But I want to talk about what did I look for in a fly reel versus what someone else might look for in a fly reel. Because here in Canada we got a thing called snow. So I needed a reel that has a really good knob, like this one here. The knob is huge. So if you have mitts on, you can turn it however you want, right? Back it off. Okay? And I've got saltwater reels. Most of my reels I buy actually are saltwater proof because A, you never know, and B, it never hurts to have a little bit more beefier reel. Tip for new guys: if you want to buy a fly reel, buy the best one you can afford. That's the key. The reels and technology now the last couple of years have come above and beyond where they ever used to be. But I've come down to a few different brands that I like better than the other for certain reasons. I used to be a big fan of Remington for years. Reasonable price, CNC machined aluminum, durable, just like a good quality guide reel. But they don't make a couple of the reels I used to use. They don't make them anymore. They replaced them with the Behemoth, and then they replaced it with the Rio Grande. But today I want to talk about two reels specifically, and why I've changed most of my rods over to these two reels. And I'm not sponsored by any reel company, so this is just my opinion. Things I like and what I don't like about this reels. I wasn't really a fan of the number drag system, but the last little year or so, I've kind of grown to love it. Makes my life a lot easier. One day I'm going steelheading, the next day I'm going carping. Not necessarily the same rod, so it's nice to have. You pack it up, put it in a car, whatever, and then you don't have to worry about it. Whatever else, you're just gonna remember what number you're at the next day. So that is an advantage of a number versus not having a number, and it's one full turn to lock it. So today I want to talk about Sage versus Sage. Now this is the 4200 series of fly reels. I absolutely love this reel. I have 3 of these reels. I absolutely love this reel. This is a new Spectrum, which replaced this 4200. There's things I like better about this reel, but there's still things I like better about the older one. So today, it's Sage versus Sage, old versus new. So let's talk about the old one first, because if you guys are not familiar with it, like I said, it has a numbered drag system on it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Put it up the camera. It's hard to see that. It goes to 10 or 9. Goes to 9. Each click, and there's a click in between. So I guess it really goes to 20, I guess, or 18. So there's one click and a half click in between. I love this reel. I have it on my 7 weight, 8 weight, and my switch rod. Yeah, I got 3 of them. I got a spare spool for each one, which is a big key for me. The key, if you find a reel, try to find a spare spool for it. If you can't find a spare spool at the store you're buying a reel from, go online to see if they still make the reel spools and get a hold of a spool before you purchase a reel, because it always helps. Trying to find the spool later is a total nightmare. I tried to find one for these 4200s this year. They stopped making it. I can't find one anywhere. Unless I find one used somewhere, I don't know, but trying to find one somewhere nowadays is enough, because everybody's hanging on these reels because they're not bulletproof, but they're pretty durable. I've dropped this around. I got one scratch on it. It's not even a scratch really. It's more just I got a dent on one of them, but the coating didn't crack. So years of guiding, right? It happens. rocks, gravel, bushwhacking. We go through a lot in Southern Ontario, especially in especially in tributaries. So that's the numbers. I like the numbers. This has a little finer drag on it, but what I mean by it's lower is like I can put 4 pound test tippet on this for steelhead and not pull a hook, not spin a drag, which the startup inertia is really low versus some of the other drags that pull right away, and I've had flies break off on the 4 pound test. Now you can just put no drag on it, but then you must have a clicker on it, so what's the point of having a drag on there, right? The advantage of some of the other reels with a number higher up is if, especially when you're swinging flies, and we don't use any less than like usually 8. I've gone to 6 few times, but you gotta be careful on your hook sets because sometimes the fish hit it so hard they just break you off. So that's one of the things I like about the number drag. I wasn't a fan, but I've converted to a numbered. And the other thing I like about this reel, it's super light. It's easy to change spools. Basically, tighten the drag down, it's compression fit, pop it off. I've heard stories about being compression fit and have people having a problem, but I've never had a problem with this. Like I said, I got 3 of them, and I have 2 of the new ones as well, 2 Spectrums. So I've never had a problem with them coming off. And I fish probably close to 200 days probably a year. I fish ish, give or take. So, kind of winter conditions. What I like about this reel is clearly is the number drag. I like the handle on it. It's smooth, fits your hand nice. If you get your line caught on it, comes off really good. I also like the if you are steelheading or nymphing and need to get the line on quick, you can spin it really like that, and the line comes up off the ground really fast. Not necessarily a feature that some people need, but for me, from high stick nymphing for steelhead, I need to pick up that line really fast because in case the fish changes directions or whatever, that's one of the features I look for in a reel. Love this reel, awesome. They don't make it anymore, but this is one of my go-to reels. Easy to change from left to right hand as well. Take a spool off, basically the ass in the middle of it, you just take the screwdriver and then undo it, change the bearing over, put it back in, boom, left to right hand. So the new one, they replaced it, the Spectrum. I was on the fence about it. It looks nice, sounds pretty good. There's some changes in this. So on the new one, it has more of a knob on it, a bigger knob like this, versus this has a knob and it has spokes in between, which personal preference, I guess. I do like the knob better on this one. It's a bit of not a pain, but depending what gloves you have on, it's can be difficult to spin it. I find it stronger at the initial startup. My 4 pound test tippet, for example, I tried this on my 7 weight for steel. Not that it's gonna break, it just seems harder to get to pull on it. So I don't necessarily use this for my 4 pound test. If I'm swinging flies or throwing big streamers, I'll use it. I'm using 8 pound test and up. Predominantly, this is my carp reel, believe it or not. This is the race for carp. Because of that reason, and it doesn't do the line pickup as fast. That's it. That doesn't do it near as well as the 4200. It picks it up a lot faster, way faster. The other thing I like about it is the handle. They changed the handle on it too as well. I don't know if you see that or not. They changed the handles on it. One is the new one's a little fatter, shorter, and the other one's a little longer, a little skinnier. So they try to change the handle. So, and the new one, Spectrum, is a little heavier, which I actually like it better, a little heavier, so I can actually put more swing at the bottom of the rod. It works out better for some of the longer rods, like a 10-footer, or like I said, I have it on my switch rod too, and I have one each on my switch rod, just more backing. And yes, you can run this 7/8 on a switch rod. Instead of putting GSP or regular backing on it, I put GSP on it, plus my running line, grip shooter or stick shooter, mono line, and then the head. This is actually one from my switch right here, 7-way switch. So, Sage versus Sage. I still love the 4200. I'm starting to love this. I really like this thing, but I'm starting to love it. The more I use it all last year, and I use it a little bit this year, but not a whole lot yet. Basically, it's my carp and bass, and kind of in between. I threw this size 8 on my 9 weight. I wasn't really sure it would fit the weight wise, but being heavier, it fits actually quite nicely. It's compact, and I'm not swinging a giant reel on there. And I have the other size up for my other 9 weight. every 9 weight's different, right? For weight wise, so just want to find something to balance it, right? So that's my story about reels. Buy the best one you can afford. Buy a spare spool, sink line, float line, intermediate line. It's just handy to find spools. You're trying to find a spool later for one, you end up buying a new reel and then buying the spool with it because they keep changing the reels. Every manufacturer changes reels every 3 or 4 years. I don't understand that, but they keep changing whatever's. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Anyways, that's my spiel on reels and why on the old versus new. Little update my arm. What's going on with my arm? We're good. I got a scar, no sleeve, and we see a doctor on Monday. Hoping to get a clean bill of health. Still doing physio, and that's what's going on with that. Anyways, thanks for everybody for support. I appreciate that. Hit that like button, would you? Hit that subscribe button. I'm Tailors and Chasers. Thanks for watching. I'm out.